All right, Rocco. Well,
Yeah.
why don't you enlighten us
Okay.
on your
So
topic?
my topic is, and you guys once again can tell me again, but I was saying spontaneity. What is it again?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity? Spontaneity?
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Yeah, spontaneity.
Spontaneity.
Okay, that's what we're gonna go with.
Spontaneous
All right, so that's what
combustion.
my topic is
Spontaneity.
about. My topic about is just really going with life, like never going against the flow and just kind of seeing what's gonna happen. Because you never know what can happen unless you go and you open up that door. Because it's easy to say no, I don't want to do that. But why not just take that risk? Because you never, like I said, you never know what could happen when you go through that door. So, for example, I want to talk about what just recently happened to me and my wife recently.
Was it recent?
Recently. On Thursday. On Thursday, I called up in the morning the radio show because I heard that they were going to have a pool party contest going on with Demi Lovato. And I was like, okay, this sounds kind of cool. That would be a sweet Thursday night. You know, we had nothing else planned. We're going to sit back, watch some TV, and do something, you know, boring stuff, I'm sure. But I got on the phone and I got through, and, you know, they were saying, we're going to have husband and wife trivia, asking questions, and if you can answer these questions, you win these tickets.
Awesome.
So we got on, we won the tickets, and all day long we were just excited. Now, we weren't creating expectations, and this is an important thing too, is we weren't creating expectations of what was going to happen at those events, because if we start to create those expectations, if they don't occur, it's like something set up for failure. Like that event didn't turn out to be as great as it could have been. So that's a part of this being spontaneous too. So spontaneously answering that phone, saying, why not? Let's see what life can take us. We have this thing that's now going to be in front of us, not having any expectations of what's going to happen or, you know, what's going to occur. It turns out to be an amazing night, like an amazing night. We meet some wonderful people. Demi Lovato gets out there, sings for a little bit. We're meeting a bunch of people that have nothing to do with anything with the radio, just people that had gotten invited. You know, build a lot of good relationships, and the thing about it was that we had such a good time that we were just riding life the whole time, that wave. You know, we weren't going against it, and because we were doing that, we didn't have expectations. We were just being spontaneous with it. I felt like it just made life that much richer, and that's really my topic I want to talk about, and see how that relates to you guys in your lives. If you guys have had any experiences where you can say that has happened, or maybe that you weren't spontaneous, and you could see where it had led you to not open up those kind of doors. Because, you know, a few different times in life I've had this experience, and every time I'd have to say it was like a completely different experience than just having a regular good time.
I would love to balance that. Like, that is awesome. And that is probably one of my biggest like hurdles to try to overcome, because I tend to be very, very calculated, planned, and I try to be as organized as possible. And so when things don't go my way or I lose control, I feel very like vulnerable, and I feel very like just uneasy and just kind of like agitated a little bit, very, very anxious. And so I don't oftentimes, I like, this is just the common thread throughout my whole life, is all I care about is the end goal, like getting to the finish line. I don't care about the journey, and I do. It's just in the moment I don't, and all I can see, I get tunnel vision. I'm just like, let's go, we gotta get there. It's like 5 o'clock. We gotta get there now. Like blah blah. Like instead of taking the time to just enjoy the car ride, or just enjoy like the moments of like even like grocery shopping with my wife. Like I tend to be like, all right, this is the most efficient way to get this done as quick as possible. So we can go back and we can watch TV. So here, I'll go off to the.
But that's how guys are. That's how guys are, though.
Yeah, I guess.
You ever see guys like pick out clothes and stuff? They go in, they're out. You know what I mean? We know we go there to get pants, and we're in there, we're out. And that's it. That's exactly we know what we're getting before we even go in there. I don't know, but keep going.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say that, like, and honestly, what I should be doing more is just really just enjoying that time and just kind of like just taking it like as it comes, and just. If something new happens, or if like the plan has to change, like cool, let's see what it could be worse, but it also could be better, and it makes for a great story, it makes for a great time.
Right.
And like you said, Rocco, you're really left with a feeling that you were living, and that it was a richer experience because of it.
And because, like you were saying, like when you have that expectation all set up and you have this plan all set up, it can take away sometimes from that thrill, that adventure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's like you almost have it like you're not bungee jumping now. You're just standing up from the plank looking over at it. You know, it's like that thrill comes sometimes from taking those risks. Not that they're not risks. You have like more risk based. From what it sounds like, you're more like strategic with everything that you set up and allow to happen. And not that I don't do that too. If I want to go shopping, I want to know exactly what store I'm going to go to. But if a guy comes up with a conversation that sparks in the middle of nowhere while I'm on my way to go get my shirt, I'm going to be spontaneous and let that conversation happen. And I'm not just going to be like, I got to go get my shirt, get out.
See, I don't, man. I'm like, yo, I got to go. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a cool comment.
Because who knows where that conversation goes. I talk to that guy, and he goes, hey, you know what? There's a wonderful thing. You can help out with all this and that. And you're like, whoa, I wouldn't have had a clue
10 minutes out of my way from
had I
getting the
not
shirt
had
I
a
wanted.
conversation with you.
But then you get there, and the shirt just got sold out.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Well, then there you go.
Dude.
Exactly.
Because I was at the beach yesterday with Sarah, and I was walking to like just kind of get my feet wet, and I was coming back, and this guy was like, hey, you actually got to go in the water. I was like, oh yeah, funny joke, I'm out of here. And he's like, oh, what's that say on your hat? I'm like, man, it says Titans. He's like, oh, he's like, what kind of Titans? I was like, Tennessee Titans football. And he showed me his hat, and his hat said Titans. I was like, oh, cool. What is that, baseball? Or I was like, what sport is that? He goes, it's baseball. And I go, okay, cool. See ya. It's like, I'm out. No,
if that was Rocco, it would be completely different.
yeah, you probably would have sat there, grabbed a beer with him, talked to him. I was like, I don't have time for you, old dude. I gotta go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
I was-
I
come off
don't
rude.
even want to start this conversation.
It's like all I kept thinking is like, I want to go back to my towel and I want to lay down.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I
peace.
gotcha. Well, there's, that's like, I don't know. So here you go, for example. Costa Rica was one of those times where I spent a lot of time being just spontaneous. We landed in Costa Rica. Me and my friend Mac, big time college buddy, and we decided we want to go to Costa Rica. We want to have a vacation. We traveled to Costa Rica. We get there, and when we get there, we have no plans. Like, this would have freaked you out, Clay, because there was no here or there or anything. There was no tunnel vision for anything.
Yeah.
So we're like, what the fuck do we do now? So we just started asking people around. We said, what's the closest beach to where we're at right now? And they started saying Rocco. So we went on an adventure to go to Rocco. How do we get there? You can get a bus. The bus goes to that Coca-Cola station here in downtown San Jose. So we get on the bus and we just start taking a ride. And what do we know when we're heading down there? We meet this guy that just says, he speaks Spanish. He's from Costa Rica. And he's asking us if we want to share some beers and trying to, his broken English, our broken Spanish, working back and forth. And we find out that there's going to be, this huge event, this Miss Hawaiian Tropic Model contest going on in Rocco at the beach, where women are going to be sitting there in thongs and the most beautiful people from all of Central and South America walking around in front of us. I'm like, this is exactly where I needed to be in life.
Long story short, they lose a kidney in the morning.
Yeah.
yeah. Wake up.
The story goes on and
Your
on
butt,
and on.
your
Where
face
things,
is in his butt.
the story goes on and on and on where things just happen and occur, right? So, we can't, because Rocco, we get there, it's swamp. There's no hotels. We can't get anything. We check hostels, hotels. Everybody's shut down.
That's when I
decide,
freak
let's
out and I
just
go, you guys,
party.
you see, this is why you gotta do. And you're like, shut the fuck up, Clay.
Exactly.
Shut up.
It's getting better, trust me.
So I, with that though, I decide, well, not me and Mac both decide, let's just go have fun. I mean, we can't find one. Let's just go enjoy the night. We're going to waste the night away stressing about getting a place, and we're not even going to go have fun seeing all these beautiful women walking around. So we go and we check out the event, have a good time, and then later on we hear about a city about 10 minutes away that possibly has some hotels. So we go there, nothing's there. We decide to go sleep on the beach where there's a bonfire going on. We're going to take turns. I got the first 2 hours, you got the first 2 hours. We meet a bunch of people that comes out to the bonfire to hang out, and they have bunk beds in their hotel rooms that they have no need for, and they turn out to be amazing people that host us several times on our vacation down there in Costa Rica. Just another example of you never know what's going to happen. If you just ride life, it's like life takes care of you. And now it might not seem like it's going to take care of you. You can't judge what's good or bad. And the reason why you can't is because you don't really ultimately know what's the next few steps ahead. Because had I said, oh, God, this is terrible, I don't have no hotels, I wouldn't have known that there could have been a bed waiting for me later on just by sitting there at the bonfire with these other people.
Yep.
It's just, you never know. You can be spontaneous and things can work out, or you can end up with no kidney. I'm not just telling you to go out there and be crazy. I'm just telling you that sometimes when you're living that ride of life, it's not so scary. Sometimes you are taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy is I'm a lot like Clay. I like to plan things out, but I do things that are spontaneous. Years back, a buddy Matt of mine, we watched Harold and Kumar go to White Castle with a bunch of our friends, and we said, oh, we'll do that. And they're like, no, you won't. So we found out the closest one was in Tennessee, so we left that night and drove up there
Oh, no.
on a $20 bet.
Awesome.
Okay? So we ended up going up to Tallahassee, staying the night at a friend's place. We ended up going to a party there, meet a bunch of people, have a lot of fun. Two of our other buddies end up meeting up with us from high school, and we all four drive up to Tennessee. We go to White Castle, we eat, and we turn around and come back. And it was a great trip. We met a bunch of people along the way, had a lot of fun. And then one time I actually I had to deliver a car into Pittsburgh, and I drove all the way up there. It took me 2 days. Did a little 2-day trip, and it was for work. And when I got to the airport, delivered the car, I missed my flight. So I found out the next flight was 6 a.m. the next morning, and so I jumped on a bus and I went downtown and just went kind of sightseeing. I was like, I've never been here before. I asked a lady on the bus. I said, "Hey, where should I go?" And she gave me a map, and she's like, "Get off here. You can go here and here." I saw the rivers and the stadiums, and I ended up just going to a random bar and having a few drinks with some ESPN personalities. It was pretty
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
See, and that's a spontaneous night. That turned out to be something unexpected. You didn't have any expectation of what was going to occur, and it just started to flow and happen. And then what do you know? You're having a great time and a memorable moment.
But we're romanticizing all the good times. Like, there's got to be a time where you were like, this one time I thought I was going to have, and like, I broke my toe, or like, like I starved for 2 days. Like,
and perhaps there is.
I mean, like, I just had that other thing the other day too. Like, we're planning on going to because I like to plan stuff out. I'm like Clay. I like planning stuff out. I do get expectations, and when those expectations don't meet up to like whatever my expectations, like I get mad or anything like that. But that's because, like Rocco said, you have expectations, they're not met, you get mad about it. Anyways, I look up and we're supposed to go to Crystal River. I want to take the girls. We're going to have fun, everything like that. Freaking weather service says it's going to be partly cloudy with sun, right? 10% chance of rain. I'm like, okay, that's going to be a beautiful day then in Florida. We're going up there. We're heading up there. Dude, like already, we had to get up. I was saying we'd just go, but Amber said we needed like an oil change because her car was like things. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, so that's going to take that time off. So we're going to not get there by 10 now. Like I want.
Oh yeah, I'm floored at this point.
Yeah, and then I'm like, the girls wanted to like look underwater. So like, okay, now we got to go to Walmart and get some like snorkels or something like that. So I'm like, that's another 30 minutes. So I'm like, all right, so then okay, we're good. We can get there by 11:30. We're good. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, okay. So we start driving up there, man. We're an hour. We're probably an hour. It takes 2 hours to get up there, like 2 hours and 10 minutes. We're about an hour and 10 minutes, and like out. And I just see a huge storm, and I'm like, dude, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, why predict weather if it's just gonna be like this? Why even have weather freaking channel? I'm seeing it so hot, and then I'm just like, you know what? I was like, girls, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to turn around, anything like that. So we're on the road for a total of like 3 hours, man, and then we just turn all the way around, go all the way back up, go to the beach, which is like 10 minutes from our house. You know what I mean? Instead, and it turned out to be a good day after that. But yeah, like I was like you're saying, Clay, it's horrible. Like 4 hours, 4 hours, and I was just like, but then you just gotta throw expectations out the window sometimes, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of like, and I wanted to do a topic, and if anybody out there wants that to happen, put a comment out there. But I wanted to kind of do a topic that was like an umbrella of stress management, and then the different subcategories within that kind of help out with management of stress. And that's one of those, is those expectations. Like, it's good to have goals, don't get me wrong. You want to have goals. You want to have a good image that's going to paint you in the direction you want to go. But don't have these concrete expectations that they got to happen these certain ways. Like, let them play out to be whatever. Like, know that you want to get to this location, but you don't really care, like, how it all is going to turn out to be. Like, because if you do, like, I just see constantly, not even through other people, but myself included, that it sets you up for that failure to not occur. And in life, I find out that it doesn't happen 100% according to your plan than what you wanted it to be. So why sit there and always stress out when it doesn't? And it can happen easily too. We can lose focus of that, thinking that we have this kind of control over these things. And that's where that expectation, like losing that expectation, comes in, is stop trying to think that you can control that 10% weather or whatever it is that's going to happen. Just go with the flow. If you had just not, had not been stressed about any of those times and still came up to those clouds and still seen that it was going to be a storm, and said, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to care for any of it. I don't have any expectation of when I'm going to get there or if I'm going to get there. And then you head that way, it doesn't work out, and you go to the beach instead. There was no stress before any of that, and then you said that there was enjoyment at the beach. Then it would just been an enjoyment that entire day. No early stresses in the morning. Had been not, been stressing about, oh, we got to be there at this time or whatever it is, That's just kind of one thing I see life. Like, that's not being seen as spontaneous, although the going to the beach was spontaneous. You had the intent of wanting to go to Wiki Wachi. Didn't work out, so you were spontaneous with, like, let's go to the beach. And then guess what? It turned out to be an amazing day. It wasn't what you had planned. It wasn't what you wanted to do, but it was an alternative, and it turned out to be an amazing event too.
Yeah.
Was it going to be as good as Wiki Wachi? We'll never know. You didn't go to Wiki Wachi.
Yeah, you didn't go, Steve.
I had it planned out. It was going to be amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then,
Like, this is so good.
if you didn't pet the manatee and do that exactly the way you wanted to
Yes,
happen,
the manatee was going to
it would've
show
been
up.
terrible.
And then like a dolphin, we're gonna be like, what is a dolphin doing? And it's just gonna be
Exactly.
crazy, man.
No
The dolphin
storm.
didn't show up. The manatee didn't show up.
The storm came through.
The storm came through. It was horrible.
You had to go to Walmart.
Yes. Yeah.
So, anyways, for me, it was just bringing out a different perspective of life. From what I hear from you guys, a lot of people do definitely have that. The plan set out, and having children nowadays, I absolutely see exactly where that plan is necessary, but it's not always necessary for things too. And that's just my point. That
Rocco,
sometimes
man,
in life
you're
has
right.
to be that balance. There has to be that planning, and there has to be that just letting things go and figuring out where it's going to take you. Because sometimes those are some great moments too.
Yeah.
Note to self, Clay, throw that planner out.
Yeah. Chuck it.
Keep the planner, just don't live life only by it.
Right. Rocco's saying have that high level, but don't have expectations of what that journey looks like to get there, or necessarily exactly what that, like, in spirit have those goals and then get there, but enjoy it while you get there, because no matter what you do, like Rocco was saying, shit's gonna change.
Yeah,
just enjoy that.
Shirt, go talk to that guy in between too, Clay. You never know if he's.
That's gonna be really hard for me to get
podcast.
over. Look,
Yeah,
one
he's
thing
like,
at a time.
Yeah,
I
he's
do
gonna be like,
podcasts that have 30 million followers, and you're like,
No.
what?
or he's gonna be like, Titans. Yeah, you want to go see him? I got tickets right now. Let's go.
My uncle's like,
Crazy.
what?
You guys
No,
are
but-
right though. I
No,
don't know, man.
but we're all gonna see Clay one day. He's gonna be like, a little bit down the road. He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna have a nice family day with my kid and everything like that. And like, you have all this planned out, and be like, oh, he got sick. You gotta stay home. You gotta cancel the tickets. That's
No, bring your sick kid.
yeah, exactly.
That's
No,
good
he's
stuff.
gonna come back and
Good
be like,
stuff.
"Ah, dude, that's spontaneous shit," and things turn out really terrible. I ended up in the desert, not knowing who the fuck I was. Oh God, I
Lost
don't
my
think
kid.
life anymore.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.